Welcome everyone back to another episode of Getting After It. I am Allie Rossell.
And I'm Brett Rossell.
And just as it sounds, we like to get after it.
That's pretty good. Not bad.
That's how we start Siblings in Crime, my brother and mine podcast. But
if you like true crime, go check it out. It's good stories. Fun stuff.
We're True Crime. We come out Wednesdays. However, we're on Getting After It, and I'm with my husband. So we decided to kind of switch it up this week. What do you think?
Yeah. Tell me your idea. I like it.
Well, it literally was 2 seconds ago. I'm like, you know what would be fun? Brett's an interview. He loves to talk to different people.
I do.
I said, let me give it a whirl. Let me interview you.
Yeah, let's see what we can do. I'm excited. I have no idea where this is going to go. I don't know what kind of questions you're going to ask me, but
possibilities are endless. Yeah. I don't know where this is going to go. But I thought it might be fun for your audience to hear from the host himself what Getting After It is, and we'll kind of roll from there.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, Brett. So you ask everyone in your podcast at the very end what it means to getting after it for them.
Okay.
So let's kick it off with that. What about for you, the host?
What does it mean? There's a lot behind it, but I think for simplicity purposes, the thing that I always think about when I'm considering getting after it in every area of life is just, it's a commitment to strive to always be your best and to always improve. Because like, if you think about it, like there's a lot of people out there who they can't run. Mm-hmm. So if they say, oh yeah, I'm getting after it, and the definition of getting after it's running, a lot of people aren't going to be getting after it.
Right.
They could, might be medical issues or they just can't do it, whatever. So I think that's probably it. It's just, it's a commitment to yourself that you will improve and stay the long haul, because getting after it, I always say it's like a lifestyle, it's a journey. And there's going to be times when you feel really motivated to get after it and you're feeling really good. You're excited about whatever's in front of you. And then there's going to be times when life hits and you have to still balance, your passions or whatever it is. You have to still focus on getting better in whatever area you committed to while still maintaining your responsibilities. Like if you're getting after it and that's your whole thing, if you want to be the best fitness person, whatever, and you're a dad, but you put your priorities over your children in order to get after it, I don't think you're getting after it. I think that's a selective thing to get after, if that makes sense. Like that is showing action in one area in your life, but you're neglecting other pieces. And so getting after it to me means that it's everything that you do.
I see. So you're saying if you want to be the best runner and you also are a dad, you have a job, you have all this other stuff, but your whole priority is on becoming a runner where the other areas are neglected, then that's not getting after it. That's progressing in one area, but getting after it to you means you're striving in every area to become the best, whatever that looks like.
Yeah, 100%. It's like, I said it again, dang it. I
said 100%.
I know, I'm trying to work on that.
I don't mind, I just like to tease.
Yeah, well, if you notice, the audience does too, so I apologize guys, I say that too much. But yeah, I mean, it's like, are you really getting after it? And to me, it's much more impressive. You take someone like Drew, who's a dad, who has a job, who also runs and does all these things. He's not going to be the best runner in the world. I'm sorry, Drew. You won't be. I won't be the best runner in the world, because it's like we are regular, everyday people who try and strive to do our best in those areas. And you can't compare someone who literally that's their job, is to train and to work out and to, like the Olympians. That's all they do.
Right.
And they have the best protocols, all this stuff. So they're obviously going to be much better. But that's like their life. That's what they want to do. And so you take someone who has other responsibilities and still balances, like, okay, well, how can I be the best dad? How can I be the best at work? How can I be the best spouse? How can I still work out and achieve my goals in fitness? That's much more impressive to me than it would be if someone was just like, I'm going to be the best runner, and that's all they did. Mm-hmm. Like, I think it's much more difficult to be able to strive to be your best in those areas, to get 1% better each day while still achieving your goals. Like, that's hard. Mm-hmm. That's a hard thing to do.
Let me ask you this. I know you have talked about, and you and I talk about often, comparing,
Yes.
right? You've talked about Truett Haynes a lot. You talked
I
about a
do
lot
talk
of
about
those
Truett. Hopefully, because one day we'll
run
hit a
together.
run together. He'll come on the podcast. That'd be cool.
That'd be fun.
I'll tag him in this. Truett Haynes, please.
Let
This
me
would be
run
fun.
with you.
I'll run with you, but I think it'd be cool if you came on this podcast.
Yes.
What do you say?
Nice.
Thank
We're
you.
also
That's my
in
invitation.
Utah. So, I mean, we're like down the street. But the reason I talk about him is I know, like, as you were just saying, some of these athletes, I mean, they're able to make it their life, right?
Yeah.
They're making money from promoting different companies and sponsors and stuff. And so they get to work out all day long.
Yeah.
And we see Truett's post, which I'm so happy for him. Great. Truett, Cam, like Lucy, all these incredible athletes. It's so fun to see their stories, and it's like their workouts of the day. And it was like an 8-hour day
Yeah.
of their runs, their sauna, their walk with their dog, or whatever it is. How do you, I don't want to say, I'll rephrase it. You were just talking about you can't compare yourself to people who are like, that's their life. How do you do that?
I think it's tough. Well, one, I do want to say that all those people that you mentioned, they've worked unbelievably hard to get to where they're at.
And not to say that they're neglecting other areas of their life.
Yeah.
Of course, I mean, they can be incredible spouses and stuff like that, but it does help when their fitness aligns with their occupation.
Yeah, and I think that's really it, is we live in a time where you're able to do that.
Right.
Like, if you are able to get enough people to follow you, to like your stuff, to see your journey, then you can legitimately make money from that. And I feel like that's a pretty good motivator to like keep doing what you're doing. So, one, I think it's amazing that they're able to get to that point. Two, you mentioned Cam Haynes. You might not even know this about him. So he's like, before an ultra runner, he's a bow hunter.
Right.
That's his whole thing. And he wants to be ready for the mountains. And so like he actually worked a full-time job for 25 years. And I think like 3 years ago, he finally quit.
Do we know what he was doing for work?
He was part of like water treatment or something. He worked, I think, for the city. But yeah, so like, but he would run and do marathons every day. I think he would run a half marathon before work and then a half marathon at lunch, like crazy stuff.
Yeah, he's different.
And so the reason he's where he's at now is because all the work that's gone into that for years on end has got him to that point. And so same with Truett, like he posted something where he ran a half marathon when he was 6 years old. And I think when I was 6 years old,
8, right?
maybe he was 8.
If it was 6, I'm gonna
Either way,
cry.
like that's still crazy.
Yeah,
like, that's
regardless.
so young.
Right.
And so, like you said it, like how do you not compare yourself to those people? Couple things.
Okay.
So I would say the first thing actually is you should compare yourself to them a little bit. And I'm not saying like compare yourself to their times, compare yourself to anything like that. You need to compare yourself and be like, okay, well, they obviously were able to achieve something. And I'm a firm believer that if a human has done it before, that means there is a chance that you can do it too.
I like that.
Be realistic with your goals. Like if you want to be in the NBA and you're a 5'5" white guy that just decided to play basketball today, not very valid. Like you got to be realistic with your goals. But look at them for inspiration. Like if they, Truett's a great example to me. Like I'll look at him and see like what runs he's doing and be like, okay, well, I obviously know how much work goes into saying like, okay, well, I'm going to run a 100-mile race or I'm going to run a 250-mile race. And the guy puts in 100-mile weeks. And so like if I'm thinking about that for myself, I'm like, okay, well, this week I hit 48 miles. So I'd have 62 more to go, 52 more to go. Math is bad. And so like, I wouldn't say like, okay, well, don't compare yourself to them. If anything, just compare yourself and be like, how would I feel if I got to that point? And am I willing to even do the work? Because that's I think a question a lot of people don't consider is like, you'll see something really cool on social media. You'll see someone starting a business and you'll say, oh, I want to do that too. Until you realize how much work has to go into it. Then you're like, man, freaking Truett, he's able to run 100 miles. Like, that guy sucks. And then you'll start getting into that mode where it's like, you're like, oh, I just hate all these people or whatever. You start having a bad mindset about them. And so, but really, to answer your question, this is a long-winded way to answer it. I would just say simply understand that you're on your own journey and that it is unique. Your journey is unique to you, and you get in what you put out, or you get out what you put in. Um, and I mean, genetics also play a huge role, but
That's true.
like, I just don't think it's fair to yourself to compare yourself to other people. Like, you've heard the phrase, so many people on this podcast have said the phrase, comparison is the thief of joy.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think there's a lot of truth behind that. If you compare yourself to someone else's journey while you're trying to accomplish your own, go out after whatever goals are in your mind, you're not going to be able to enjoy and be present for the times when you actually have some kind of accomplishment that you're proud of.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you go out and you want to run your first half marathon and you're proud because you just hit a 7 mile run, you've never done that before, and you're getting ready for your half marathon, and you go on social media and you see Truett, you see Drew, you see yourself, anybody like posting, you're like, hey, I just got done with a training run. It was 15 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that person's going to feel like crap. But the person who ran 7 miles should be proud of what they did because they never done it before.
Right.
And so I would just say be cautious with like comparing yourself on social media. Understand that your journey is unique and it's not beneficial. Like, you can draw inspiration from those kind of people, but you shouldn't compare yourselves to them.
So what you're saying, basically, it's not bad to look at the numbers and understand they're different between
Yes.
other people's runs, your own runs, whatever it may be. But rather than compare lives and stories, look at those things in order to learn.
Yeah, and I would say be proud of the effort that you're doing. Because effort really, like, if you really gave it your all, if you're really showing up and trying to do your best, that's going to get you a lot further than, doing something like really hard and then immediately being like, but I'm not the best. Like, you're not. You're not going to be the best.
Right.
There's a lot of people out there who are much better than me at many things that I do, at podcasting, at running, fitness-wise, like at my job. There's a lot of people who are better than me. Like, I'm not the best. I'm trying to be, but it's difficult and it's a competitive world. So it's like, if I was always thinking about like, man, I'm not the best, then it's like that triggers a negative thought spiral and you'll start believing it. And that's not a good place to be. Self-talk's huge in that point.
It's true. You have talked a lot about self-talk, and not to dive too far into it, whatever you're comfortable with.
All right.
Let's go into that a little bit, because getting after it kind of started, when would you say? Not the podcast itself, but your own personal journey.
I would say in college. Like, that's when I started really diving into some of the teachings of Jocko Willink.
That sounds like scripture.
No, but like trying to understand discipline for myself. And I think that's when I really understood, like, okay, it really is you get out what you put in.
How did your lifestyle look different before learning these lessons and then since then?
It was a lot less structured.
Okay.
I was very, like, I think about Spencer on this podcast where he talked about having a to-do list.
Yep.
And he's like, if you don't have one, like, you're not really going to know what to focus your time on that day. I feel like that was me a lot of the times. Like, I didn't really understand. Like, I knew what needed to get done, but I didn't have an order of which I wanted to do it in. And I would procrastinate. I would let things, like, I would do things at the last minute. And then I just realized, like, discipline is a very simple thing to get started at. I know that sounds crazy, but, like, if you just start doing small things to exercise your discipline, like for me at that time, I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to come home from work, and that hour when I'm home from work is going to be me studying and getting things done for school. And then just like structuring my day that way. And then pretty quick after that, Drew and I were like, okay, let's just go to the gym at 5 a.m. every day before we have to go to work. And then we'll go to school and we'll do all that stuff. And it was just like the very most basic way of like, I'm going to include discipline in my life, but I need time to do that, if that makes sense. So it's like, okay, well, if we're waking up at 4:30 to go to the gym, we're there at 5, then I need to be disciplined to wake up on time so I can go pick up Drew so we can get to the gym on time, get a workout in before work. Like, you have to have structured time to achieve goals. I do believe that. Like you need to be able to time block and things like that too. But you also need to have the chance to exercise discipline. And so if that's like I want to start going to the gym more, then set a time for you that's feasible for you to go to the gym and then exercise discipline to get there. Like that's what it takes. But my life was very unstructured and I had goals that I wanted. Um, I just didn't know how to put it all together to work towards reaching those goals. Like, I think it's something everyone has to learn on their own because everyone's different. But at least giving yourself a chance to experiment with discipline, experiment with consistency, like figure out where it fits in your life and where it makes sense that you can stay consistent because that's the most important part. Because like a lot of the times you'll see people, this is another danger of comparison. You'll see people on social media who are like, this is my morning routine and because of it I'm super
It's like
productive.
8 hours long.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Or like this is what I eat every day for my meal prep, or I read 50 pages. Like and so like you might think, okay, well, that person's very productive. That person looks really good. They're obviously fit. Whatever it is. And you'll say, I need to be doing those same exact things. But in reality, it might not work for you because that person built a habit that they can stick to. And so you have to learn to do the same for yourself.
So when you talk about structured life, and then you learn about discipline, consistency, and you became more structured. If someone's listening to this podcast and they're like, I want to be more disciplined, I want to be more consistent, it sounds like structure is a tip for that.
Yeah.
How did you start implementing that in your life?
It started very small.
Did you have like a calendar, a alarm clock for different things? Like, what was your
Alarm clock.
I don't know.
No, that was good. Sometimes like the very most basic thing I would do was just write out a to-do list every day before bed of what I wanted to do the next day. And
Prepare.
yeah, so it's just preparation.
Okay.
And really just like understanding that. And then now I'll plan out my day, but also put things in my calendar so I don't miss them. It's really like, I don't know, I'm very good at forgetting things. And if it's not written down or if it's not somewhere where I see it, I will forget about it. So like if I'm at the doctor's appointment, you'll be proud of me for this because I'm very consistent now. And they're like, okay, well, we'll see you in 3 months. I immediately pull out my phone and say, okay, well, how's August 18th, whatever. Let's do it at this date. And then I'll just put it in. So it's like I'm always reminded because it's easy to let things slip. And I really just started by implementing small things. Like when I first started going to the gym, I wasn't there for an hour and a half or 2 hours. I was there for 30 minutes sometimes, like just to get a lift in. And then Drew and I were off to work. With meal prep, like I didn't really know how to cook that well. So I started with just one meal a day. And then eventually that led to breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I always had prepped in college.
Dang.
And a few years after that, I kind of fallen off because I've learned how to cook now. And it's kind of fun. I like cooking for us. But that's really it. It's like starting small. And I think the best place that you can see that is in the gym. Like if you go and you've never lifted before in your life and you want to start doing some bicep curls, you might only be able to do the 10s. Maybe the 5s. I don't know. I don't know what the size of your biceps are. But that consistency, that discipline of showing up and lifting and showing up when you're sore, like all these things will lead you to eventually be able to curl 40s like it's nothing. Like, but that could be years. You just don't know what the timeline is. So that would be my advice is like, if you want to start exercising discipline in some areas of your life, figure out what areas they are. If it's fitness, if it's faith, if it's family, if it's your job, and then start setting very small, specific goals. Like the procrastination podcast that I have written out. There's one thing in there that I think fuels a lot of procrastination, and it's a lack of clarity or fear of actually doing the thing. But I think a lack of clarity is what a lot of people run into. So, for example, me up in college, I obviously knew that I had deadlines for some tasks or anything like that. But like I was never specific about what I needed to do each day. And so like you break it down into smaller chunks and you say, okay, well today I'm just going to write my thesis statement for this paper. And like, okay, write that down, write your thesis statement. And once you figure that out, think, okay, what's the next thing I need to do in this project? Maybe it's like, okay, I have to write the first 2 paragraphs. And then the next day you write down your goals, or finish the 2 paragraphs. And that's what you do. But you just break it down into very specific, smaller chunks. So it's like, it's not as overwhelming as it might be like, okay, well, I'm just going to sit here and write for an hour. Um, Another thing I used to do that I still do today is the 5-minute rule, where it's like, I'm just going to work for 5 minutes. And if I still feel terrible afterwards, then I'll stop. But usually when I would do that, I would recognize like, I don't want to stop working. Like I'm kind of in the flow state. So that's my advice. Start small.
Sounds like what you're saying, as far as structure goes, sounds like finding the non-negotiables in your life. What are the things that you want to be disciplined in? What are the things that are most important? Taking the 1 or 2 things in each category, breaking it down into bullets and points of smaller chunks, and focus on those first.
Yes. I love what you said about the non-negotiables real quick. Because like you mentioned Cameron Haynes, and he's someone who's unbelievably accomplished. Like
it's incredible.
He's done so many things.
Yeah.
And
great kids too, sounds like.
Take a guess at what his to-do list is every day.
I'd assume run.
That's one of them.
Okay. I don't know what.
Lift, run, shoot.
Oh, duh.
That's all he does.
That's
and he says,
I should have guessed.
He's like, I don't have to have it at a certain time. Like I don't have to lift at 5 a.m. and run at 6 a.m. and shoot like at 8 a.m. He's like, I just have to get those done every single day. And there's no like, I mean, obviously that works for him, but the point is he will do those non-negotiables no matter what. And you know, life does get messy. So I like the fact that he's like, I don't care what time it is as long as I do the thing.
Right.
And I feel like I've gotten better with that with running and fitness, just because like I used to have to go in the morning, but now with like traveling and stuff, it's like sometimes nice to have a couple extra minutes in the morning, or like sometimes we're really tired and it's like, it doesn't make sense for us to wake up and go work out. So be flexible with the timelines where you're doing the things, but don't miss them.
Yeah, I think trying out different things. I think your personality is very much like you thrive on a schedule, right? Like
very much so.
You love knowing what time things are happening and having it organized that way. I think I'm more of the Cam Haynes approach, where I'm like, I'll get it done. You know?
You're easy breezy.
It
easy
doesn't
breezy,
matter.
beautiful.
But then also you got to be careful, because if you have 3 or 4 non-negotiables and you're running out of time at the end of the day, and then things come up during the day too, which makes it difficult. You're like, oh, I forgot I had a birthday party and I'm supposed to do this. So it seems as though getting things done first thing, if you're able, sounds like that's the hack to not miss it.
Yeah.
However, I think with people functioning differently and finding their way, like maybe trying a more structured, if that's like problematic, then taking more of the Cam Haynes approach. But it sounds like having those non-negotiables, breaking it down to the smallest form, and being able to just work, like kind of chip away rather than like expecting to move mountains in one day.
Yeah, think of yourself as a scientist. Like experiment with the schedules, experiment with when you're going to be doing these things. Find what works for you. And I did mention earlier, like, oh yeah, someone might post their morning routine and you might think you have to do that to be productive. But if there's something in there where you're like, okay, well, this guy wakes up at 6 a.m., they go and they work out before work. Like, maybe I'll try that. And if it works for you, great. But if it doesn't, find the time where it does make the most sense for you to go and get after it, or whatever that is. But experiment with these things, figure out what's the best for you, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. I just lost my train of thought. I was going to say...
Bring it back.
Bring it back. Dang it just left like immediately when I opened my mouth.
It disappeared?
It's faded into the air.
Where'd it go? Bring it back.
I can't. But it's gone. That's okay. Well, I wanted to say, or not related to what I was going to say. I don't know what that was. But I was going to ask you, you've obviously seen both sides. You talk about Fat Brett a lot. You talked about this non-structured side before college. Like, how would you say that has changed your life? Becoming more disciplined, being more consistent. What is that doing for you on a day-to-day basis?
That's a really good question. I feel like it does a lot for me. It's a much more difficult lifestyle
Yeah. As far as
to,
busy seems.
I mean, yeah, busy maybe, but like, I think it's just, if you decide to always improve and always try and get better in whatever area it is, like, it's hard. It requires discipline. It requires consistency. And little fat Brett, who was the coolest kid,
I wish I knew him.
he was so cool. But like, didn't really care what kind of foods he ate, and didn't really care how he spent his time. So like, I'd read still. Like, I always read at nighttime. But like,
You're always a nerd. It's okay.
yeah, I'd play video games. Like, I wouldn't really care about school. I would eat frozen meals all the time. Like,
Frozen meals.
and I'm sure like at the time, I didn't think anything of it. I was like, this is great. Like, life is awesome.
Yeah. It's a breeze.
And so like, I feel like I could still be in that trap. But the difference is like, I know what it's like to get after it. I know what it's like to have the confidence come from doing hard things and being prepared. And I know what that feeling's like. I also know how like my body feels better if I'm eating well, if I'm working out, and if I'm taking care of it. Like, my mind performs better. And so like, that's really it, is like, I've experimented with both.
Mm-hmm.
I've had times, even like recently, where like I won't do as well as I want in the gym, or like I'll eat crappy food and feel sick, or
By
like,
crappy foods, he means he eats too many rice cakes and too many granola bars. I haven't seen you
Still.
eat crappy food.
all I
but-
mean is like, I'll binge on those things and I'll feel terrible the next day. And like, I'm just like, that's a simple thing for me to be like, okay, there's evidence that this is obviously not good for me. And mind you, I am eating a lot of those things when the time comes, but I try not to. And so, yeah, I mean, I've had both experiences, and the confidence that comes from pushing yourself and being proud of the work that you do, and then with the hope that you will become a better person, like, that's kind of what I'd rather live on. So there's some people who don't care about getting after it. And I've mentioned before on this podcast that it's not a lifestyle for everyone. And those people, they just want a different life. But I think this is for people who, if they want to improve, if they want to get better in whatever aspect it is, like, you need to start exercising some discipline and putting structure to your day, figuring out what your non-negotiables are, and being religious about making sure that they happen.
I like that. So you've seen the fruits of living this lifestyle, and they are good.
They're good.
They are delicious to taste, huh?
I mean, they are. Best example is you.
What?
Yeah, because I started this podcast, you reached out, and now we're married.
Okay, keep in mind, I was reaching out years before you started the podcast.
I know, but you said something really nice to me. So.
And that's really what won you over.
That's what did it.
That's so
I was like,
funny.
this girl, she likes my podcast. Damn.
Well, actually, well, yes, I did. And yes, I still do. But
It was pretty bad at the beginning, so you're lying.
I supported you regardless. I just
Fair
want
enough.
to be a good friend. I love being everyone's number one cheerleader. But that's what I wanted to ask, is because you've seen your confidence grow through being more disciplined, through living this lifestyle. How would you say your confidence was, if you don't mind me asking?
Fat Brett?
No, not Fat Brett. Even like since the beginning of you starting just being more disciplined and where you are now. Because that's going to be a roller coaster. I know, like you were saying, there's times where it's like up and down, where maybe you're not hitting the workouts you want to, or maybe you're slacking a little bit on healthy eating. And so since you decided, I'm going to be more religious with my structured schedule and with my eating habits and my working out since then in college, and where you are now, that you've talked to all these people, you've really dialed in on what getting after it means to you, how has your confidence in yourself either evolved or changed, or has it at all?
A ton. Yeah, it's been really unbelievable. Like, I've always been, I think, someone who's insecure. Like, when I was Fat Brett, I'd go swimming and wear a shirt. Like, that kind of thing.
That's why I was wondering, because, I mean, Fat Brett, it makes sense, kind of, no offense, that you're a little bit more insecure. Like, if you're not living a healthy lifestyle, that usually goes hand in hand with a little bit more of insecurity. But the whole getting after it time, I'm curious if your confidence has grown, or if it kind of stays the same if you've been doing the same stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely grown. And I think the reason being is I've made more of an effort to pursue the things I'm interested in. Um, because I think about like when I was at Swello, I was so good at marketing. I was really good at ads. Like I could get your ROI up to like 12.
Whatever that means.
Chunk cookies,
He crushed it.
their ROAS, return on ad spend, was like 24. So every
That's
dollar
so
they'd
awesome.
spend, they'd get 24 back. Anyways, I was
I'm
really
proud of
good
you.
at ads. Okay.
Good.
But I didn't get any confidence from that because it wasn't anything like I wanted to
It's a good
pursue.
example.
And so I think like you can get good at something and not get any confidence from it. Like another thing too, like I was so good at Halo as a kid.
You should be proud of that.
Unbelievable.
He was ranked.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the ranking
It
specifically
was like
was, but
1 million, but that's a rank.
no, it was good.
Just kidding.
But like even then, it's like okay, well, the only time I would ever be confident with Halo is like if I was actually playing the game,
Right.
Like going online. Like that confidence isn't going to bleed into other areas of my life.
Huh.
And so, I think yes, everything I've done with getting after, I have gotten more confident doing them. Easy thing to do is go back, listen to episode 1 of this podcast. I'm not confident. I'm like, hi, this is Brett.
You were just a little boy.
Thanks for listening to the podcast. It was
And
not
I'm
good.
like, I'm going to message that guy.
Yeah, you're like, this guy's nice. But now it's like, okay, well, it's just we're having conversations. Like I'm telling people things that I'm interested in, and the confidence has come from doing the reps, honing in the message of the podcast, like, and because it's something I believe in. And so like I get confidence from this thing because I'm like, hey, listen, this is important to me. Like hopefully it resonates with someone, but like I'm confident that this message is going, like it aligns with everything that getting after it's about.
Right.
And so also with running, like that's been a great confidence builder for me is running really. Like when I was sick, I tell the story, but I've run, like I ran 7 miles for the first time when I was sick, and it was like 11-minute pace. And I remember being so proud at the time of that.
Good. You should.
And like, I was like, man, that was awesome. That was so cool. Got sick, whatever. And then like once I started running more and started competing in actual races and stuff like that, when I would do the work, prepare for it, and know I did my training well, I was rested, I was fueled, and when I stepped on the start line, like I was confident, like I'm going to be able to finish this race. And then when I finish it, I'm like, maybe I can do a marathon after that half. And then I finished the marathon. I'm like, maybe an ultra's next. But I think that confidence comes from, one, you're doing hard things. We talk about that with Team Tim. That's like a big one.
Obviously.
Confidence comes from doing hard things. It teaches you a lot about yourself. It teaches you about how you respond when things don't go well. It teaches you that you're capable of doing more, and I think that's the biggest one. Because a lot of the times when we go to Team Tim, or I tell people, hey, you should run, they'll say, I'm not a runner.
Right.
And then, they'll run the race, and they'll be like, I cannot believe I just did that. Like, that is crazy.
Right.
And, like, that's the coolest feeling. That's, like, honestly, the reason I love going to Team Tim now is, like, just seeing people just being like, I can't believe I did that. Like,
Right.
I never thought that was possible.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's just what comes from doing hard things. It's like if you're able to do your best, if you're able to show up, and some of those people who say, I can't believe I did that, no shade on them, but they might have had the slowest pace of the whole race. But who cares?
Right.
Like they still did something difficult.
The distance is the distance.
Right. And they pushed through difficulties. And so I think that's the benefit of doing hard things. It tells your brain, hey, that wasn't our limit. And then preparation is the other one too. Like the only reason those people were able to do that, mostly, Blake's an anomaly.
My brother's freaky about that.
He's unbelievable.
He won't run one step, and he'll just show up for the race and finish it somehow.
Yeah, he's a beast. But like
He's an anomaly.
he's an anomaly.
He's always last, but he's there.
Yeah, and it's impressive.
And we love him for that.
Yeah, but like the confidence that comes from preparation is like, did you do all you can to get ready for this moment? Are you confident that like if it's a presentation you're giving at work that all the information's correct, that you did your best, and is the effort you put in going to get you the result you want? So I think those two things are what build confidence, at least for me, is doing difficult things, proving to yourself that you can do more, and then preparing for that moment.
Right.
So all the training, all the reading, all the studying, whatever it is, like that's what's going to bring you that confidence.
I feel like preparation is definitely the antidote for anxiety as well in a lot
Yeah.
of scenarios. What it sounds like you're saying is since you started getting after it, it sounds like you already, like, since the beginning, it sounds like you're confident in your ability to live. It sounds like you're confident in your ability to do specific tasks, but it sounds like over time, your confidence in who you are has evolved.
Yeah,
Would you agree? Is that what it
I
sounds?
would. Yeah. So, I mean, I always say the phrase like, if you're able to be disciplined in one area, it bleeds into every other area of your life. I've seen that very much so in mine. Um, like with fitness, that's an easy example. Like I've gotten better.
Yeah.
My endurance is up. With my job, like I've learned how to be more disciplined there, how to get things done.
Relationships, you're killing it.
Yeah, like marriage, like and marriage is an interesting one because like you don't think about like, oh, it doesn't need discipline,
Right.
but it kind of does.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely.
Like you have to be disciplined enough to have date night
Yeah.
whenever you can. Like you and I, we read our scriptures together. Like that requires discipline, but it's those small things that keep us strong.
I feel like the consistency part is what has helped our marriage just be incredible.
Yeah.
As well. It's like the things that you don't think about like day to day usually, like, oh, like telling them they look good and like
Yeah.
the little flirty stuff. It's like, yes, we already know we love each other, that's great. But doing the small acts every day, like breaking it down to those little things you can
Yeah.
do every day to show your spouse that you love them.
And I mean, if you think about it, just day by day, those actions aren't very big and
Right.
they don't really add up to anything. Like if I came to you and I was like, babe, you look so hot.
I'm like, you tell me every 4 seconds, thank you.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then I don't say that for like another 2 weeks.
Right.
And you're like, man, you might question yourself. I don't know.
I'm not hot anymore.
I don't know what happens, but like it's because it's consistent that it just reassures you that I'm obsessed with you. And like it's because I'm consistent with the gym. Like one gym session is not going to change anything. One good meal is not going to change anything. One bad meal is not going to change anything. It's the consistency piece.
Right.
And so that's what's important is like, yes, these actions we're talking about, like going to the gym, telling your spouse you love them, getting them flowers occasionally, like going on date night, taking time to study something for yourself and refine your own skills or like work on the podcast. Like all these things, like day by day, these actions aren't going to add up to a lot. But you look, it's like that guy, manipulate time.
Yeah.
Like you add that up over a couple weeks, I'm going to kick your butt.
Right. It's true though.
But it really is. It's like, that's why people like Cam Haynes and Truett Haynes, this is my hypothesis, are so good is because they're just unbelievably consistent.
Because they do it day to day.
So it's like consistency is huge and discipline is needed, but consistency is equally as important. Like it's an equation. Think about it as math. Discipline plus consistency equals achievement.
I like it. This might be an obvious question, but obviously you learned how to get after it for yourself. You're like, these tools are helping me become a better version of myself. I'm feeling better, feeling stronger, feeling happier. Seems obvious, but you want to make this a podcast. You want to talk to people about what they can do to feel the same way you feel in terms of growth. Why did you want to make this into a community?
That's a good question. And I have the answer.
Oh, wonderful. Thank heavens.
So, I mean, like, you said it, like, I've seen all the benefits that have come into my life from getting after it.
Right.
From pushing myself. And my life has gotten much better. It's been hard.
Right.
But
Things come up.
And, like, it's not an easy lifestyle is what I mean by that. Like, it requires early mornings. It requires a sore body. It requires fatigue. But the fruits of it are so much better than the alternative that it's like, it's been so worth it to me. And so many opportunities have come from this. So many, like I've met so many new people, like, and you said it, like I'm just a happier, better person, I would say. And I can confidently say that actually from when I started this thing to where it is now. And I just have this idea in my head that if we had a community of people who were there to improve themselves, but also support other people who are trying to do the same thing. I can't imagine what, like, this might sound crazy, but like what kind of an impact that would have on the world. It's like if there's a bunch of other people who are getting after it, who are testing themselves, but then also trying to push others to do the same. Like, I'm just one small voice, but if you had 1,000 other people who were very similar to me in the things that they do with like getting after it and pushing themselves, but also telling other people that and helping them realize that they have more potential to do than they have more potential to give to the world than they thought. Like, that would mean a lot to me. Is like everyone realizing like, okay, yeah, maybe some things that Brett says, like, I can try, and if it works, cool. Like, my life might be a little bit better. And I always say, like, if I'm able to help one person, then that's kind of what the goal is. Just because like all these principles, all these teachings, and everything has benefited my life. So I can't imagine like what it would do for so many others. And I feel like there's a lot of people out there who they feel lost. They feel like they're not achieving anything. They don't have specific or realistic goals, and they need confidence. And that's going to come from deciding to be disciplined and having to do difficult things. And so really that's kind of my dream and the vision for getting after it, is like to build a community of people who are all there to support one another and to support themselves and improve.
How do you think a community will help those people? It's like, how have you noticed that? Do you have a support system? Like, what about community is gonna be the thing that helps people get after it?
Yeah, it's a good one. There was this quote from Simon Sinek. He was on Chris Williamson's podcast, and he said, I think his definition of community was a group of people who are committed to supporting each other. And I mean, the reason I wanted a community and I want to build it is because, like, I had so many questions as I was on my own journey of like, okay, well, this isn't working for me. I need something else. Or like, there wasn't a lot of people who I could reach out to and be like, man, this sucks. Like, I had my coach,
Right.
and I had you, and that was about it. Like, man, I'm struggling in the gym. Like, I don't know what to do. I'm feeling pretty weak. Like, all these things come up. There's a lot of questions to be answered. And because of the fact that everyone has something unique to offer, there might be one person who says something in this community, wherever it is, like trying to build a platform for it or whatever, where they say something that might resonate with that person specifically that I might not have been able to help them with. And so that's really it. Is I think like you get more and more people in this ecosystem where they're able to cheer other people on, like be there. Everyone in this community is going to be everyone's cheerleader.
Right.
Like, that's the rule, is if you're joining this thing, you're going to help other people to achieve their goals, because that's what it's all about.
Right.
And so I think that's really it, is like, it'll help answer a lot of questions. It'll help people feel more confident. But all in all, I think it's like, you take a lot of pride in being part of a group that like is willing to push themselves and get better. And I feel like if you're part of that group, it might be more motivation for yourself to be like, hey, I'm in this. I got to do work. Like, I got to get after it. I'm part of the getting after it community. I got to do it. Like, commit to change your life.
Right.
So it sounds very self-help like.
I mean, you're
cheesy.
improving. Real quick. You keep touching this thing, it might make the blah, blah, blah sound.
Really?
Yeah. If you touching that and this stuff, and I think it might be making sounds. Just a heads up.
Okay.
You know me with my sign.
I don't think I'm going to edit it out.
You had to edit it out.
No.
I made the sign. It's a stop sign.
I guess this is your podcast today.
This is my podcast today. I can say what I want. I like what you said about learning from each other, because that's one thing that I've noticed a lot is when you start running, for example, you kind of just go outside and like go for a mile and you're like, okay, that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
You just like walk outside and go.
Like
And
everyone knows how to run.
yeah, 'cause
But
you're
not really.
oh my gosh, someone teach me how to run. I feel like my form has been so off lately. But exactly, like you think it's just moving forward, which
Yeah.
it is to an extent. However, then you talk to other people who are big time runners. You talk to physical therapists, you talk to doctors, you talk to like anyone with any type of other experience. And you're like, oh, I'm supposed to be stretching before and after. Oh, it's better to do
Yeah.
dynamic stretching before and static stretching after. Oh, I need to do hip mobility.
Yeah.
I need a foam roll. Like all these things that if you aren't involved in that community, if you're not around other people who have more experience than you may be getting injured faster. You may hate running because you're like, I can't do it because it hurts every time.
Yeah.
Well, it's like it hurts for everybody, but why does it hurt for you? Because there's 5 things that you're not doing that all the other runners are doing that aren't hurting.
Yeah.
And so being able to learn from other people in a humble way, because it's such a humble thing, joining groups or being part of different friendships and communities or whatever you want to call it, and being like the dumbest one there. Like there's so many benefits from that. I think it's kind of like a shy thing where you're like, I don't want to be the dumbest person in the room because then you look like the dumbest person in the room.
Right.
However, it's actually the best thing ever because you're in a position where you can learn from everyone around you.
Yeah.
And it sounds like being in the Getting After It community, learning from other people, and you yourself will have experience. Like, oh, like I've noticed that I like to take cold showers after, and it really helps me. Whatever. Like maybe you're doing something completely random that is gonna help somebody else who's like, oh, maybe that's a factor for me. I think that's what's been cool about social media. Like we give social media a ton of hate, rightfully so in a lot of ways. However,
That's the only part I like, really.
yeah, if I say, however, it has a lot of benefits. Like one and probably the biggest being you're learning from literally everyone in the entire world. There's people in Africa, they're like, they have a hack to being great runners or something. And then you in small town Gilbert, Arizona are learning from this random person.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And being able to create a community where people can go and know that they're in a safe place where they can ask all the seemingly dumb questions or they can be inspired by other people. I think that has been one of my favorite things is I'm not a very fast runner. I'm your average Joe, but I love being married to you because I don't feel any jealousy. I don't feel competitive. You're a boy. You're 6'3". I'm 5'5". You know, like I'm not expecting me to keep up with you.
Yeah.
But it is inspiring for me to be able to see you and get up at 5 a.m. and you're hitting the trails. And I'm like, oh dang, I should be doing that too. And not out of a place of like self-hate, but out of a place of, dang, I love this person and they're doing all these incredible things and I see what they're doing to become incredible. I can follow those footsteps. I can do that thing. I can get up. I can go run. He's getting the salad. I'm getting the hamburger. Maybe I should get the salad next time. Like I can see and witness it and not come out of a place of spite, but of like, you're paving this path for me that is so clear. And I think you're doing the same thing with your followers. Where like, I have gone through the hard work. I've done trial and error time and time again to see what works for me. I'm paving this path. If you want to follow it, let me show you what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And maybe they go off on a different trail and be like, hey, this is working for me. And maybe some people follow that trail. Like that's what's working for me.
Yeah.
It's very inspiring to see what you've been doing with, like, obviously I talk to you day in and day out about this stuff. Like I'm able to be in a situation where this is our dinner time conversations. Like we could be eating our meal right now. This is what our dinner table sounds like.
That's pretty accurate, actually. Yeah.
And so it's nice to be able to be so involved and to learn from you. And I hope a little bit you learn from me as well.
Very much. I learned way more from you than you learned from me.
But what I mean is it has been very incredible to see how much you care about other people's success.
Yeah.
And I think that's what incredible people do. Not to toot your horn, but I'm going to toot it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not perfect.
I'm not saying you are.
I'm not the best.
Trust me, you have a lot of flaws. I'm just kidding.
I do.
No, but what I mean by that is, like, when we talked about comparison in the beginning, comparison, I think, comes from a lack of confidence, honestly. You always say, no one above you is going to be tearing you down.
Yeah.
Because they understand what it takes to get to the top. And people who are doing well, who are thriving, they want to help other people reach to these high peaks as well.
Yeah.
And so if you find yourself comparing, or if you follow the Getting After It podcast, the podcast or the Instagram or the community, whatever, if you find yourself feeling jealous or like you're comparing a lot, it seems like that's when you need to make that change to be like, no, I'm going to try and learn. I'm not going to bring them down. I'm going to do all I can because
Yeah.
this can help me as well. And it seems like that's kind of like the group that you're creating, a place of support and tips and just growth in general.
And friends.
And friends. Yes, the support. And let me ask you this. Why is that so important this day and age? Why do we need that?
Because I don't think you get it a lot. I think when you're on social media, it's very superficial interactions that you're having. Like, not a lot of them are deep. And the idea behind Getting After It is like, this would be honestly the dream is like, there's some people in the community who are like, hey, I'm going to go run on Saturday. And anyone's welcome to join. And then like 5 people show up and run with this guy.
Yeah.
Or gal. It doesn't matter. But like, it's hard to have like actual connection with people. And I mean, part of Getting After It, like down the line, like I want to do events and do running and that kind of thing. And like have people come and meet other people who are very similar to them. But connection's really important. After talking to Dr. Kim Buck, she was saying that like connection's one of the most crucial things that we need as humans. And like COVID, social media, all those things kind of messed up our human connection. And now it's like, it's hard to get that. And then there's people out there who were like me before we got married, who are just alone and don't have, like I lived by myself. I'd go to work. I met people there. Like I would talk to them, but then I would just go home. And like I had nothing really to do. And that wasn't easy. And it's not an easy situation to be alone in. And I feel like when you're starting a journey, whether it's a fitness one or a professional or like a personal progress one that you want to focus on, there's going to be times when you feel alone because like you said, there's also going to be people who might have their own opinions on what you're doing and might say, that's stupid. Like you're running, that's dumb. Really, those people are just losers. They want an excuse. They want to have other people not succeed, and they're just losers. Like crabs in a bucket. Like, get out of there. Jump out of that bucket. Like if someone tears you down, you can immediately say, you're probably a loser. I stand by that. But that's really why. Is like building in a community. I feel like a lot of people feel alone on journeys like this. They don't feel supported. They don't feel like they can keep going. On days when their minds are telling them, hey, I don't want to do this anymore, and they're tired, they might listen to that feeling. But if they jumped on this community and they're like, hey, guys, I'm feeling exhausted. I'm tired. I haven't seen any progress. I guarantee you, everyone would be like, hey, that's what happens. Yeah. You got this. Don't stop. Like, stay consistent. Like, you keep going. And that's, I think, what's important. And I feel like that's very missed in the world.
With your desire to make a community, does any of those feelings of the loneliness and the lack of support kind of resonate with you? Were you like that prior? Like, is that any of those feelings the reason why you wanted to start this?
Yeah. I mean, the podcast, the whole idea of this came from listening to like Jocko and Joe Rogan and all these random people when I was sick and I couldn't watch anything or read anything.
Probably your most lonely time, I would guess.
It felt very lonely. I literally thought I was dying.
That's so sad.
So yeah, definitely that time. And then, like I said, like I had a lot of questions when I started my own journey. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know really how to run. Like that is something you actually have to learn how to do.
I know. That's so
didn't
dumb.
know anything about fueling. Didn't know anything. So
that should be natural. That drives me nuts.
I mean, I think it is, but we sit a lot, and then that becomes our more natural state.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, I mean, I just think I have felt that too many times in my life, that lonely feeling of like, I don't know who to turn to, or I don't know if I'm doing this right, or I feel alone in this journey. I have no support because that's a sad reality of a lot of people is they don't have a support system. And so if we can make that for them, if we could be that support for them and help them reach their goals and build their confidence and have them look in the mirror and be like, I'm a different person than I was a year or 2 years ago. Like that is the goal. That is what I hope it becomes.
I love that. You kind of touched on it for a minute. You talked about a little bit of the future of getting after it, like events, stuff like that. What do you kind of see happening with getting after it? What are these events you're talking about, and what do you hope to achieve with your initiative you've been pushing?
I mean, the future of it, the podcast will be more in depth. I'll have on guests. Like that's something I'm very passionate about is I want to have guests on because everyone's story is different. And like we were talking about, someone might say something that I couldn't have said that resonates with the person listening. So I want to have more people on
So if you want to come on the podcast, if you have your own story,
please let me know.
Let them know. If you know somebody that has a very crazy, interesting life story, something that we can learn from, let Brett know.
Always.
You're getting after
Everyone
it.
has a story.
Everyone has a story. You're getting after it co on Instagram.
Gettingafterit.co.
And TikTok and then Brett
and
Rossell.
Keep gettingafterit.com. You can email me.
Oh yeah, keep getting after it.com.
But yeah, I mean, I envision races that we do. I want to start off with a 10K, going to a half marathon. If I can do a Getting After It marathon, that would be a dream come true.
Really?
Or an ultra race, like little pop-up things. Like it doesn't have to be anything crazy. But I mean, I want to do official ones, yes. But I also mean like other pop-up things. Doesn't matter. Like have a pop-up tent. But I want to have races be a part of it because there is like every time I go to Team Tim, it's like I'm friends with all those people. I don't want other people to experience that and run with their friends. I mean, obviously shirts, they're coming out, merch.
Woohoo!
That'd be cool. But really my whole thing is like, I know what these principles have taught me. I know what they've done for me in my life. And I know they can have the same effect on other people if applied. So how can I get that message to them? How can I help them realize that they are made for more and build that confidence in themselves so they can go after and do the things that they want to accomplish that they've always been either scared to do or just haven't known how to. So that's really what I want Getting After It to become, is just a place where people are inspired to go and do the things that they didn't think they could before.
Well, it's already inspired me a lot.
Well, thank you.
So I can be your one person at least for now that you know.
I will take that. You're my wife. You're the most important person to me. So.
Well, thank you. I think it has changed my life. I think it's changed our relationship in a positive way. We hit 2 years on Tuesday.
Let's go.
Whoop, whoop. Quick 2 years.
It's crazy.
I know. I wanted to ask. Over these last 2 years, we've learned a lot.
We have.
You talked about getting after it in personal relationships as well.
Yes.
How does this getting after it initiative, everything you wanted it to become, you talked a lot about it in a fitness way. How does that bring into your relationships more? And the reason I asked that, and we can kind of end it around this, but you talked about the importance of connection.
Yeah.
And community. And we talked a lot about fitness. What would you say that getting after has done for our marriage in the last 2 years?
Wow.
Now that we're hitting our anniversary.
I mean, it's brought us way closer together, I would say. And reason being is like, we're trying to work towards similar goals together. We're supporting one another in everything that we do. But I think one thing specifically for marriage that Getting After It does is it forces you to think of the other person before yourself. And I believe we're pretty good at that. Like, I don't know, we're always asking the other person like what we can do to make their life easier. And so like, we're always thinking about each other. We're always making sure we're like seeing how they're doing throughout the day. Like, it's just the little things that add up. But I would say just the most important thing that Getting After It has done is just like taught us how to be consistent in our marriage and our routine, and always make time for one another. Because if you start losing that, then you start forgetting the person who you married or dated. And it's like, you always have to be dating. I think that's an important rule.
You always say that.
Yeah.
We're still dating.
Yeah, we are. Sometimes you just say like, oh yeah, it's like we're dating again. I'm like, we are.
I
We are
know.
dating
I'm
all the
sorry,
time.
I'm sorry.
So, sometimes you tell me things that I never knew about you. So,
That's true.
but that's what I would say is like it teaches you how to be consistent, and it also teaches you how to be selfless because like as funny as this might sound, this is going to be a weird analogy, but like
I'm
if
so
you're out
excited.
if you're out on the trails and you're running up the mountain
Right.
and you're super tired and you're exerting a bunch of energy and that's hard. And then if your wife is like, "Hey, can you go get me some water?" That's pretty freaking easy. Go get the water.
That's so funny.
So
Like
go do
snuggled
difficult
up in
things.
bed.
So when your wife asks you for small things, it's easy.
That's so funny.
That's the rule.
That's a life hack right there.
That's it. Go do hard things, push yourself, make yourself want to throw up, and then anything your wife says will be easy.
You just solved all marriage issues.
There you go. You heard it here first.
No, the reason I ask is because we talked a lot about just getting after. Obviously, the whole podcast is getting after it. The reason I want to talk about this is because obviously you're the Getting After Host podcast, and I thought it'd be fun to kind of interview you this time to be able to see more into your mind of what you hope this to be, why it is what it is. And I've seen it. You've been incredible being able to do it in your physical and your emotional relationships and all these different categories. And I'm able to be a witness to the benefits of living with someone who gets after it and being one who strives to get after it. And so it's fun for me to kind of hear your perspective on what all this is for you. And I'm excited for where this is all going. I think we have some big things coming up. Like you said, hopefully we have merch coming. I say we. It's kind of a Brett thing, but I'm involved somehow.
You're 50% owner.
And it's so fun for me.
Yeah.
But with the future events being more running focused, that's why I wanted to kind of end with it's still a relationship thing. It's still a community piece. There's so many different aspects to it, which makes it seem complicated. But when you boil down to one sentence, what is getting after it boiled down to one sentence?
Did you just...
I'm giving you a gesture.
Yeah, you just did the hand thing?
Give me that little. Give me it to me.
All right.
Boil it down. What would it be?
I think it's what I said earlier. It's a community of people who are committed to grow and help others do the same.
There we go. I want to hear it as sweet, concise, condensed.
There you go.
And that's what getting after is. But thanks for having me ask you questions.
This has been fun.
It's fun for me to hear from your perspective. I mean,
Hopefully it wasn't too scary.
scary.
My mind is a storm.
No. And I think it's fun to be able to kind of dive into that a little bit. My mind is almost a little too simple. I'm like, ding, ding, like nothing's really going on in it. And so it's fun for me to be able to understand you more thoroughly, to be able to understand what I can be doing, like living a more structured life, like chipping away at the little things to grow in my discipline and consistency, to not compare, to ask for help, to gain a community. It's fun having this conversation so that my takeaways are to be able to do the little things in order to become a better version of myself.
Yeah. And realize it's very personal to you.
Very personal, exactly. We're on our own paths. We can carve our own paths. We can follow somebody else's until we find our own way.
Yeah.
But I think I've learned a lot. I think I learned a lot every time I talk to you. And that's
know.
why I wanted everyone else to be able to hear a little bit more of your voice.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate you interviewing me. I wouldn't want anyone else to, unless it was Chris.
Why? You have lots of great things to say. More people should interview you.
I don't know. I just feel like it's fun with my wife.
That's true. That's fun. And like I said, it's our anniversary, so I was like, oh, we can do it together.
Yeah. That's good. That's true.
That's so lame.
We'll do this. This
I'm
is
so cheesy.
anniversary episode. Anniversary
Come out on
takeover?
a Tuesday.
No, it'll come out tomorrow.
Okay, well, anyways.
Well, I love you. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks for chatting with me. And as always, keep getting after it.
Nice work, baby.